Every day, every single person has a reason to be grateful for mining. Without mining, we don't have the iron that we need to build fridges or public transport or aircons. We don't have the copper that we need for car brakes and plumbing. Without mining, there is no gold for circuit boards and TVs and mobile phones, and there's no aluminium for tinfoil hats or beer cans. That's right, if the member for Brisbane had his way, he would stop you from being able to crack open a few tins with your mates because he doesn't want us to be able to produce aluminium.
I call the member for Hunter.
Thank you, Speaker. I want to start by giving the Greens a dose of reality that will be hard for them to swallow. So I apologise in advance for any sobbing or whinging that you may hear coming from them. The fact is that as long as people want to buy our coal, we will continue to sell them our coal. I want the last piece of coal ever burnt to come from our mines in the Hunter Valley. Because it's the best, most efficient and highest quality coal in the world. There will be no abrupt or enforced transition away from coal. Here's another fact for you. The vast majority of coal that we mine in my electorate in the Hunter is exported. So while it's true that the market is moving away from using coal to power our country, and this government has done amazing work to make sure this is happening as smoothly as possible, even after our last coal-fired power station has closed in Australia, our coal will still be mined and exported for decades and decades to come. We will mine it and we'll sell it until the day there is no one who wants to buy it. So you could put your unrealistic pipe dreams of a rapid transition away from coal to bed, because it's just as much of a fairy tale as the Coalition's nuclear policy. As always, the member for Brisbane has moved a motion without actually doing his homework. If he'd done his homework before getting all worked up about how much he despises the mining industry, he'd know that the most recent budget reports that the resources sector contributed 2/5 of the company tax in 22 and 23 financial year. He'd also know that the mining, energy and water sector is estimated to have contributed $42.4 billion in tax in 21-22 financial year. I think that he needs a reality check. Instead of demonising the mining industry, he needs to be opening his eyes and think about all the ways that we really do rely on the mining industry. So here's fact number 3. We can't move towards net zero without the mining industry. I hope the Greens political party are listening today, because there's much to learn here. Without mining, there are no solar panels or wind turbines or batteries. I'd like to see the member for Brisbane try and build a wind turbine without the traditional resources like iron. It's not just us that will be relying on mining our rich deposits of critical resources so that we can power our future. Countries around the world will be as well. Every day, every single person has a reason to be grateful for mining. Without mining, we don't have the iron that we need to build fridges or public transport or aircons. We don't have the copper that we need for car brakes and plumbing. Without mining, there is no gold for circuit boards and TVs and mobile phones, and there's no aluminium for tinfoil hats or beer cans. That's right, if the member for Brisbane had his way, he would stop you from being able to crack open a few tins with your mates because he doesn't want us to be able to produce aluminium. So to the member for Brisbane, I say, don't be ungrateful. Go thank a miner in your electorate, or thank all the miners around Australia for what they do. Get out of the inner city office and have a look at electorates like mine in the Hunter who make our country run. Because the fact is that we need mining. Everywhere you look, we rely on mining in some way. And even as we continue to make amazing progress in reducing our emissions, mining is going nowhere. And thank goodness for that, because look at what we gain from it. Mining powers our economy. The sector directly employs more than 250,000 Australians, many of these in my electorate in the Hunter. The mining industry also supports more than 1.1 million indirect jobs. Mining has made my electorate what it is. Almost everyone knows a miner, has a family member who worked in the mines, or knows someone who has connections in the mines. It has provided good paying, secure employment for generations, and is firmly part of the identity of the entire Hunter region. So the Greens can continue to hate on mining, but they live in a dream world if they think somehow they will convince us to rapidly transition away from mining. Because it's here to stay, And the final fact of the day is mining is definitely here to stay. So to the miners in my electorate, to the miners all around Australia, thank you for the hard work you do. The long shifts, the time away from your family and friends, your loved ones. Keep up the great work. We support you. We will continue to support you in the future. And I look forward to continue to see many of you in the Hunter, but also many of you around Australia as well. And hopefully the member for Brisbane can go and thank the miners in his electorate, because there is lots there. There is lots there that do great critical work for our country. So I think you could go and say thank you to them. So yeah, I do think you could go and say thank you to them, because mining matters, and thank you to all the miners in the Hunter. Cheers.